everyone, and welcome to my 10 before the end. I may have gone over 10 because it's very difficult to decide the 10 books that I feel like I want to read the most before the end of the year because I have so many books that I want to read, but I think I have like 11 or 12, not too much over. Am I going to get to all of these? No, but I'm putting some faith in myself and I think I can do most of them, if not all. We'll see. This will also be in no particular order, so let's get into it. I know I just said it's going to be in no particular order, but this book is the one that I want to read the most out of all of them, and it is The Strength of the Few. This is the second book after The Will of the Many. I just finished reading The Will of the Many, and I'm obsessed. It was insane. The plot twists in that book are absolutely crazy. I know some people didn't particularly enjoy it. I had a ton of fun. It did take me a little bit to get through it because there's a lot going on politics-wise. There's a lot of names. It's a little confusing when you first get into it, but you have to push through because it is absolutely insane. And there's so many things that are just unanswered, and I'm really curious to find out. However, this is going to be a trilogy, which means that this is probably going to end on a huge cliffhanger as well. And I don't know if I'm prepared for that. It's going to be at least a year before the next book comes out. But I'm very excited to find out what's going on, if we do find out what's going on, what's happening on this island. So I'm definitely planning on picking this one up very, very soon. Also, I have a couple series in here and I'm just counting that as one. I'm not counting that as however many's in the series. That may be considered cheating. I don't care. With that being said, the next book we have is The Prison Healer. I don't plan on reading this whole series, but I do definitely want to get started with it. I've seen so many people talk about it and everyone loves it, and it seems like a quick trilogy, and I feel like that's perfect for this time of year when you want some of a fantasy aspect and it's just super quick and fast. I've had this book on my TBR for probably 2 years at this point, which is insane, and I really want to get it off of my TBR because I stare at it every day. I'm like, do I want to pick that up? And I just never do, but the time will come. Hopefully very soon. Next, we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Cozy fantasies have very quickly become my favorite genre. Maybe not my all-time favorite genre, but at the moment, it is my favorite genre. I am having so much fun reading cozy fantasies. This one has been on my TBR for so long and I am so excited to get into it. I bought special editions of these books before even reading them because I had such high hopes that I would like them. It's gonna be quite sad if I don't, but I hope I do. I know there's sort of like an academic rivals situation kind of going on, and I think that'll be a fun aspect that I haven't read about in a cozy fantasy yet. This year I started the Bridge Kingdom series and I read the first two and I have the next two, and I really want to read these. The only thing that puts me off from reading them is that they are insanely long. This one's over 600 pages. That's insane, and just with school and work, I don't have time to pick up a 600-page book, but classes are over in December. That gives me so much time to read, and I'm hoping I can continue the series in December. The storytelling in these books is also amazing. I loved the first two books, like absolutely adored. It was so good. So I'm very excited for this one. I hope it lives up to my expectations, but we will see. Fingers crossed I get into this one. I do have a couple new releases on this list that I really want to get into because I don't want to take them to the new year with me. So first we have Wild Reverence. I love the Divine Rivals duology. Those books are phenomenal. This book takes place like thousands of years before the Divine Rivals books take place, but it's in the same world, which I think will be really interesting. And I have an Owl Crate special edition of this one, and Rebecca Ross says in her notes that you get foreshadowing of the main two characters in that book, which I think is really interesting. In this one, we're following a goddess who falls in love with a mortal. So I'm very excited. I don't exactly remember what I've heard about this book, but I have really high expectations, and I'm planning on picking this one up like actually really soon. The next new release we have is Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. Again, I love the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I didn't read Caraval because I read Once Upon a Broken Heart before I found out about Caraval, and then I've seen people say like maybe don't read it after you've read Once Upon a Broken Heart. I don't know. If you think I should read Caraval, because I'm intrigued by it. If you think I should read it, even though I've already read these, let me know. But I haven't heard the greatest things about this book, which makes me a little nervous, but I want to form my own opinion. I didn't realize there was magic in here. That's pretty cool. So I'm excited to get into this one. I'm literally saying that about every single book. Of course I'm excited to get into it. It's my 10 before the end. Moving on. This one, see, I don't know if I'm gonna read it. I want to, kind of, but I don't know. It's Fearful, which is the final novella in the Powerless, what's supposed to be a trilogy, but there's 5 books, because there's 2 novellas now at this point. I don't think we needed this book. You get more information on Kit for this book, which I think could be interesting, but also, I don't know if I, feel like I need to revisit this story, but I'm curious to see what information we're gonna get. Do I have all fantasies on this? Okay, the only book that I have in this list that's not a fantasy is The Bright Years. I just recently got this because Sarah Caroli recommended it, and reading the synopsis, it sounds so interesting, and I really want to get into this. I think it could be a good breather, maybe, between reading fantasies, because this time of year screams fantasy. I will be reading fantasy this time of year. It's seems like a family drama sort of situation, which I love dramatic books, so I'm very, stop. Alright, next book. Like I said before, I have series on here that I'm not counting as multiple books, I'm just counting it as one. So I want to finish the Poppy War trilogy. I read the first book and it was so good, but I read it probably 2 years ago at this point, and I don't remember much, but I remember it being such a good story, so I definitely need to watch a recap. But you can see I have gorgeous special editions, and I have one of the second book. I haven't even read it yet. I'm just assuming I'm gonna enjoy it. As you can see, that's a theme for me. But these books are just daunting to me because it's such a heavy story, so heavy, and sometimes it's hard to want to pick up a heavy story even though I know it's gonna be good. Sometimes I just don't want that much emotion to be ripped out of me, but I think I at least want to read the first one. If I get to the second one, I get to the second one, but I definitely want to read the first one. Alright, now these ones I'm so excited for. We have Heartless Hunter and Rebel Witch, the Crimson Moth duology. I've had these books on my radar for so long, probably since everyone started talking about them, maybe, was it 2 years ago? A year and a half? A year? I don't know, honestly. I have a really bad concept of time. But since everyone started talking about them, I was like, oh my god, I need to read them, and I just recently got them, so I really just want to binge them. I really want to read them back to back. I know the first one ends on a big cliffhanger, and I know they're really predictable, but I know they're a fun time, and that's really all that matters to me. Alright, the final book on our 10 before the end, which isn't actually 10, is Crescent City. I have been planning for a really long time to read these books in December. I hopefully will read the first one. I don't know about the next 2, but I've read all of Sarah J. Maas's other books, and I really want to read Crescent City, especially before she comes out with the next ACOTAR book, because I know the worlds converge with each other. As I was saying before, I have off of school in December and a little bit into January, so I have a lot of time to read. So I was planning on picking up these in December for a really long time, because I know I'll be able to sit down and actually enjoy the books. And I love to just binge series, because if I let them sit for too long, I'm not picking the rest of them up. I don't care if it ended on a crazy cliffhanger. Give me 2 weeks and I don't really care about it all that much anymore. The only story I've really cared that much for was Throne of Glass, and also the Once Upon a Broken Heart books really reignited my love for reading. I stayed up so late to read those. Anyways, I have had plans to read this for so long, so I do really want to get into it, especially, we don't know when ACOTAR 6 is coming out, but I want to be prepared and have Crescent City read so I can thoroughly enjoy those books. Alright, those are all the books on my 10 before the end list. If you would like to see me read some of them, stick around. I might have a couple videos planned, who knows, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!